Welcome back. Today I'll be showing you how to make infinite layered walls. First, I want to note that this can be done with any type of building material, anything from thatch all the way up to tech tier. Also, this can be done on any type of base, as long as you have the right setup. For demonstration purposes, we have a 2x2 with foundations sticking out of it. First step is to set down the wall in the middle of both foundations. Then set down the ceiling, facing outward towards the end of the foundations. Next, using the wood fence foundation, snap it into place right next to the wall that you had just placed down. From there, you should be able to place a wall on top of it. I recommend using a thatch wall, as it uses the least amount of resources because we will be deleting it. Once you set down that thatch wall, you should be able to place another wall right below it. From there, we can delete the wall and the fence foundation that we had just placed. Next step is to place down another fence foundation. Copying the same exact thing, we'll put down a thatch wall on top of it, allowing us to place down another wall right below it. Once you have the wall set, you can then again delete the thatch wall and the fence foundation. The next step is to stabilize the walls. If we were to remove that metal ceiling, a portion of our walls will get destroyed. So to stabilize it, we'll set down one ceiling on the opposite side. The next step is to be able to set down another fence foundation and continue with the process. However, as you can see here, I'm not able to set down the fence foundation. Because we had placed down that metal ceiling on the right, all the walls are now stabilized. So what we'll have to do is attach another ceiling to the furthest end wall that we have on the left. I recommend using thatch walls instead of metal walls for the ceiling walls when you're building outward. From here, we should be able to place down another fence foundation and another thatch wall, repeating the same exact process that we've done for the other three. Now, as you can see here, there's a little gap in between that wall. And we also are not able to place down another fence foundation. So what we'll have to do is delete the ceiling and place it on the furthest wall on the left hand side. Now we should be able to place down the wooden fence foundation. Again, repeating the process, placing down a thatch wall, and placing the wall down right below it. Deleting the thatch wall and the fence foundation. As you can see, there's a large opening between the ceilings. Now, because we can't place down the fence foundation, we'll have to destroy the ceiling. However, because of that large gap in between the ceilings, it'll cause the walls to collapse. So to fix the situation, we'll place down another ceiling right in between the walls, attaching it to the ceiling on the right. As you can see, it fills the gap in. Now we're allowed to delete the fence foundation and the thatch wall, as well as deleting the ceiling, which will now allow us to keep the walls. So repeating this exact process, we'll set down the ceiling on the furthest end wall. Then we'll set down a wood foundation, set down a thatch wall, and then the wall right below it. Of course, then deleting the thatch wall and the fence foundation. Now, of course, we can't set down the fence foundation, so we'll have to remove the ceiling and place it on the furthest end wall again. Now all you have to do is continuously repeat this process, making sure that you have the gaps on the ceiling filled in. If you don't, you'll lose some of the walling. The process again will go like this on a list, so that way you guys can see it visually. The rough situation about doing this trick is that it'll cost you a large amount of resources, and if you're not in a large tribe, it could take you quite some time to make this type of base. Another discouraging thing about this trick is that if you want to be able to do this all the way around your base, you'll have to do this trick for each single foundation, as the walls do not snap to each other. However, you are able to snap walls on top of the walls, just not next to them. Rewinding a little bit, I'm going to go back to where I was building the multi-layered walls. From here, I'm going to let gameplay play out, so that way you guys can reference it if you're having any issues. I'll also leave the list on the screen, so that way you can visually represent it if you guys are also having any problems. I'll play it in fast speed, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. If you want to skip to where I start talking again, and give more tips about this, skip to here.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We're nothing more than dust.
Now once you've made the amount of layered walls that you want, and you've reached the end of your foundation, you're going to want to snap the final wall to the foundation itself, and not continuously build outward. This way, when you look at it from the outside, it'll look like a normal flushed wall, and any raider will be surprised when they have to hit through 20 plus walls. Another benefit of doing this method is that each ceiling is at a different height, so you'll be able to put multi-layered ceilings very easily. To make things slightly easier with the multi-layered ceilings, you can place them from the side. That's all I have for multi-layered walling and technically multi-layered ceiling. My name is Mufflee, and I'll see you survivors out in the Ark.